welcome everybody to the book study on Rollo Tomasi's book, The Rational Male, Dating Meetups, and the Nonpartisan Red Pill Men's Group. And so what we're doing here is a book study. And so I've got this chapter on non-exclusivity, or this section, and it's a little long for a reading, so I've highlighted parts that I'm going to read from the book, but I'm also going to put up the screen with the text so that we can look at the text as well. But I'm going to be skipping through, not reading every word. And then we will just open it up for discussion and have a good time. There's a myth, isn't there? A lot of myths out there. And one is that men are all about looks. And it's not. Women are proven to be more about looks, or more, what's the word? Selective by appearances. That looks are so much more important. I mean, they're cutting out 80% of the men, whereas men, we can find a lot of women attractive, There's a niche for every body type, every age, so but women are really much more harsh about looks than men are. So when we but the idea that men are all about looks comes from the fact that, things that sexually stimulate us are purely and solely sexual. It's the woman's body, it's the woman's appearance, it's not their income, it's not the car they drive. Whereas certain things turn women on, that women are attracted to, have really nothing to do with sex. So that's why we get this message that men are all about sex, but it's not true. Women are much more about looks than men are.
I
So
I think where it came from is a small handful of men put out this stupid message about that all men, we are, this and that, and I think it gets broadcast that all men are now into that. So I think we have to whoever these men are that are speaking up on behalf of all of us, they need to shut up. And yeah, I think look, the dating app show that it's complete the reverse. But also too, I will say one thing is that men historically and even today are not putting enough effort into their appearance. And that's true for myself. And most men who are complaining about not getting results, sadly, are not putting enough into their appearance, whether it's losing weight, whether it's, working on their, whatever it's facial or moisturization or whatever it is, right? I don't think men have gotten the memo yet and are acting upon it. I'm on my fitness journey, losing weight, putting on more lean muscle. There's things I can't change, but there's a hell of a lot of things I can. And so I think we need to optimize our looks potential the way women do, whether it's losing weight or whatever it is. I think there's a lot that we can also do that somehow we're just not wanting to, and then just wanting to complain. I'm not gonna say it's a perfect world and it's fair. It's not fair, but there is still more we can do. So yeah, that's
yeah,
that.
yeah. I think that's right. And you know, I've just found on one of these discount internet sites, and I actually have ordered, you know, they're kind of like girdles for men. Trading, they're selling girdles for men. In other words, to make your stomach flatter, you know. And I've been losing weight, and that's fantastic. And watching what you dress, how you dress, right? What clothes you wear. Especially on a date, a lot of guys, and I used to do it, jeans and a t-shirt, jeans and a t-shirt, jeans. No, you get, but when you go out, you need to dress. I wore this last night. Sometimes I wear one outfit per weekend, but yeah, how you dress and all of that. So yeah, that's all important, and men need to recognize that. Samuel, you're on. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi.
Hi,
Yeah,
Samuel.
I have a friend that has high blood pressure. I've been friends with him for all the time since 2008. Um, we were at church. We prayed together, and I prayed with him. But for some reason, it seems like he's going through difficulty at the moment. And he only called me on the 1st of May, and I don't understand why he hasn't been calling me all this week.
Mm.
And it's hard to understand what he's going through because he's now telling me he hasn't heard from his parents because he's spending time on his own, but he's thinking more about what the Lord is telling him to do because he was telling me today that um, I would only listen to God, but I won't listen to what other people tell me to do.
Hmm. Well, I would,
And
yeah. Go ahead,
but
Samuel.
the thing is, I'm also doing what God is telling me to do as well, but I'm not going that deeply into it.
Mm.
And at the same time, with what Kathy said, um, I feel that she's also a nice person to speak to because if I was to meet Kathy, I probably would want to be her friend because of
Yeah.
the way she sounds.
All right. Thank you, Samuel.
And
Um,
also, I do like women with tan skin as well.
yep, yep. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what your friend is going through, as far as that goes, and but yeah, I think Kathy's on the right track,
Yeah.
for
And then
what.
everyone else has told me to give him a little bit of space. But even my mum said, she said to me, he's coming with me to Spain soon. So just give him a bit of time on his own. My friend Eric is giving me advice, my Christian friend that
Uh-huh,
I've spoken to
yeah.
online. And he's told me what I can do for the meantime being, like other events online and things. I've spoken to Pastor William. He said he doesn't want to speak to Junior more about it, and Pastor Yemi. Then they said they're now leaving it to us to deal with it, but it's hard to deal with it myself.
Well, one thing I would say is this idea I'm going to listen to God, but not listen to other people, neglects the fact that God can speak to us through other people. So
Mm,
you have your ears open, you know.
yeah.
Some people, um, yeah, don't really have their ears open, and so you really you want to get that feedback because you want to
Mm,
exist in your faith in community, not just an individual. Um, I mean, I guess you can be spiritual alone, but you really can't be spiritual alone because
mm,
spirituality is so much about how you interact with others
mm,
and what you do
mm,
for your community.
mm,
So, so
mm.
yeah,
Because
so
also some of the time he was saying that he's forgotten stuff some of the time
mm,
because he's been seeing stuff and seeing visions because they're talking about visions today in church, how people see things and
mhm.
want things differently in their lives. So I don't know what Junior's experiencing in his life.
Well, one thing is that there's a difference that you have to discern visions, you have to discern these things. And sometimes their visions, if they have a positive impact on you, if they motivate you to do something good, but if they have a negative impact where they're causing you to tune out, to be out of reality, to um, not interact, to isolate, because a vision will never really tell you to isolate. A vision is about who your purpose in life, the
Mm,
meaning that it's
mm,
spirit giving you a message. And there are many
mm,
ways to get messages from spirit,
mm,
but
yeah.
you have to
Because I
discern
sometimes feel,
well.
sorry to interrupt, I sometimes feel frustrated inside when he doesn't contact, because he used to contact more frequently,
Mhm.
but the only time he contacted me was on the 1st of
Mm,
May.
okay. Well, you can try to reach out to him, call him too, because it's not
I
just,
can't. I can't basically. I have to wait for him to
oh, okay.
call or message me because I've been told what the rules are, that because he's blocked me on
Okay.
WhatsApp and sometimes unblocks me and then speaks to me. But then I tend to not think about it so much. But I was talking to someone else this week as a friend if I should come off all social media or because of this situation, but I don't know what to do.
Well, what I would say is, let this guy go and try to focus on other things.
Huh?
And so try and focus on other things. Try not to focus on him, focus on
What do you mean?
other things.
What do you mean focus on other things though?
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, that's what you kind of have to do. You have to have your own life, and your own goals and your own vision and your own purpose.
Yeah, but
So,
I'm gonna be seeing him in the week at his workplace where we meet, and even on a Thursday, and the only time I can meet him is in church or outside. So I don't know when I'm gonna be able to go back to his house because he's now saying I can only come there when he says. But how long is this gonna be happening for?
well, that I don't know, but that seems like an issue that you're going to need to deal with your pastor. Um, oh,
No, because I've tried speaking to William and Yemi, and they've gone through all these things before, but they don't seem to want to say anything about it. They just want to tell me to do lots of different new things
right.
in
Well,
my
do
life. I don't know why
right,
they want to say that.
right. Well, they're right. They're right. You need to do something different and not focus on this guy, is what I'm saying. So, we're coming to the end.
But
Does
that's hard though.
I know it's hard, but is this a romantic interest of yours? Are you romantically involved with this person?
He's just a friend.
Okay, so don't focus on him too much. Let him be, and make new friends, that won't block you, or find out why you're being blocked. And one reason may be is that, you know, like for us, we cannot focus on one woman. We can't be so focused on one person. That's what dating non-exclusively is about. It's about meeting multiple people, going out on multiple dates and so forth. And once we start focusing on one woman, we're kind of lost. That woman's got power over us. We're not really demonstrating our sexual market value. We're not demonstrating pre-selection that other women want us. We're just
Mm,
obsessed with this one person, and we can't
mm,
be. You know,
mm,
we have to. We have to, because otherwise they lose interest in us. If we're too obsessed with them, they're going to
mm,
think we're weak and we don't have anybody else and we don't not very good in value,
mm,
So don't be obsessed with a woman. Let her call you. Let her chase you. Never chase a woman. Always try and allow her to chase you and pursue women who are
mm.
right. And pursue the women um in who are interested in you. That's the thing. And that's the thing with Kathy. Pursue the men who you think are interested in you, right? And that works a lot better than chasing after a woman who doesn't have that much interest in you. So, thank you, everyone. Matthew,
There's
Clint.
also there's also a guy as well, just a friend, but
Uh,
I'm not having a romantic. It's just a friend that I seem to be hooked onto,
yeah,
and I do like other women as well. Though,
yeah.
even though I'm still thinking about the one person, but everyone said to me, it's not only Junior in this world to be friends with. There's lots of other people.
Exactly. And there's lots of other guys and lots of other women to date and get to know, and it's not the health, the obsession is not healthy with that person. So,
I have a question for you, Rich.
Okay.
Do you think this non-exclusivity topic applies in homosexual relationships? Or do you think that guys are just different? Like it's expected that it's non-exclusive in homosexual relationships.
No, I think definitely it applies. Well, it applies to all relationships, I think, because of the gender thing. There's always a submissive and a dominant, it seems like. And that may be a part of sexuality. And some ways, I know Orion Taraban said that sex and respect can exist together, but I don't know if that's true. But sometimes when we have sex, we get down and dirty, you know? But
Jordan Peterson had an interesting comment. He said that in lesbian relationships, they tend to not work because the way the women are, and I forget the details, the psychological explanations that he had.
yeah.
But it was an interesting observation that most lesbian marriages don't last at all.
Yeah, well, I would say that maybe gay are more tolerant, but there's a couple right down the way from me, and they're monogamous. I think they want to, and they're getting married and so forth. So, but I think, okay, transgender is different. They actually
Yeah.
have the mentality of women, right? But some ways
Yeah.
they might be more tolerant too.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Yeah, there's if you have I don't want to be too, but if you have a transgender might, be more willing to have, just like women, willing to share a guy. They might, that whole concept of sharing the top guy, is out there. So there may be gay men who are like that, but maybe there's a difference because men are willing to be with a guy who is at their level, whereas women always want a guy that's higher up. So that, all those dynamics may come into play in those relationships too. I'm not an expert on that. So, yeah. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Clint. Thank you, Samuel, Jay, and Kathy, Matthew, for coming here. Doris and Christina, thank you for joining us. And next month, we're doing transitioning. You cannot, yeah. So, yeah, that's the next part of the book. Plate Theory 3, Transitioning. And so next month, make sure to be there. Thank you, everybody, for showing. I've been publishing these shows. Thank you, Jay. I've been publishing these shows at my YouTube channel. So, and I think I've sent everybody links. I hope you all got links to that. And so subscribe to that and join that. It's the Nonpartisan Red Pill Men's Group. And find that on YouTube and on Facebook. And you're welcome, Doris. All right. So thank you, everybody. I'll see you next month.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Richard.
man.
Okay, thank you,
See
Richard.
you all.
Thank you
Have a
very
good
much.
month, everyone. See you next time. Bye-bye.
All right,
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye now.
Ever feel like a loser? A sucker? Someone who got played? You should, because if you still support Trump, that's what you are. You got played by this guy. All his promises, come on. They're as real as his hair. He never built the wall. He never did the trade deals. He was never going to. It was all a show, a con game. He said you'd get tired of winning, but you're just tired. Tired of giving him money to pay for his lawyers. Tired of watching him embarrass you. Tired of his lies, his lawsuits, his trouble. Tired of defending a man who doesn't deserve your support. You know he won't change. You know he's the architect of all his problems. But he thinks you're gullible, that you can't figure him out. If you keep supporting him, you're proving him right.